What comes to mind when you hear the word cherry blossoms? Perhaps rows of beautiful pink-covered blossoming trees on a nice clear day? That's practically what most Japanese people ideally imagine themselves too. But it may not be close to the reality of what it takes to enjoy cherry blossom season, let alone cherry blossom viewing. I've been able to enjoy it most years, yet there have been times I have just not been able to see them properly. So what's the big problem when it comes to seeing or enjoying cherry blossoms in Japan? There are a number of factors, but let's establish some need-to-know words if you're just learning about Japan and its cherry blossom season. Throughout this video, I will refer to the Japanese words sakura for cherry blossoms and hanami for cherry blossom viewing, which are also good to know when you are visiting Japan. Now, this isn't all doom and gloom about all the negative things. It's to help educate you and guide you as to how to really get the best experience of sakura and hanami in Japan. Getting into the first point, which is one of the minor factors, and that is cherry blossoms are only around for 2 weeks. Maybe you already know this. From the time they start to bloom until they have fallen and the green leaves are starting to come in, it's roughly around 2 weeks, which Japanese are used to as they've grown up with it. And by the way, this is according to one certain tree in the Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo that is the Someyoshi no Sakura type, if you'd like to be specific, that has an official examiner from the Japan Meteorological Agency to see if there are more than 5 blossoms on that tree. That officially marks the cherry blossom season to start, or kaika in Japanese. This is featured on the news every year for Tokyo. And of course, all other regions across Japan have their official trees and observers to check them as well. So if you really want to make sure you don't miss on the best time for sakura in any specific area of Japan, you'll need to give yourself plenty of time and gauge what that window roughly is. Yet another factor to consider, since it's on its natural timing window to bloom, doesn't mean it's going to be the exact time every year. So timing is another key factor. If you are just visiting Japan and really want to see cherry blossoms from the end of March to the beginning of April in Tokyo or similar areas nearby, time is on your side. You're on holiday, of course you've made time to come here. No doubt you make sure to have that time open to see it. However, for the rest of the people living in Japan, we all still have work, school, or other daily errands we may need to do that conflict with a chance of having a proper hanami. But not just that, this is the busiest season of changes in the year, especially for young people, getting ready to start school, graduating, moving to a new job. This is the biggest moving season of the year, so people are really busy. March is the time of endings, whilst April is the mark for beginnings. Thus, sakura has become such a symbol that they choose to be the season for such changes. But then if the best time to view them is only during the week, well, the rest of us have work and other obligations that have to be done. We can only hope and pray we can get a decent day or night to go on the weekend. And say if you are able to go, that leads us into the next point, which is crowds. If you or have looked up popular hanami spots, especially in the biggest, most best trees in the city, you are no doubt going to run into a crowd anytime, any day of the week. So you'll have to really go early, as if trying to go on a day to Disneyland to try to beat the crowds early. And that's another story. But one of the saddest things this year is that they are starting to ban or cancel cherry blossom viewing or festivals due to too many people completely blocking the roads or views of the blossoms. And this is due to over-tourism as well. So you'll have to really do your research to make sure you don't go to a famous place that is now closed to the public or cancelled. And there have been quite a few mentioned in the local news in Japan. So my advice to you is go off the beaten path. Really look around the city more. You can find sakura anywhere in Japan as well within Tokyo. It may not be 1,000 trees in a row, but it may be the best way to find your tree to sit under, perfect for hanami. Whether during the day, but even evening hanami is really nice as well. So scout the neighborhood you may be staying in, especially if it isn't in the middle of the city, but in a more residential area is ideal. Use Google Maps to see if they have sakura and local parks by looking at their pictures, and choose a few so that you have an opportunity to check them and you can find that open spot. Another reason is people reserve spots with their picnic blankets or ground sheets. So if you choose a popular place, someone will have to be in charge of finding a spot. Even the local park in our area, it wasn't crowded at all, just a normal day at the park, but we were surprised that there was this one spot taken, and we decided to set up near it, which was no problem at all. However, no one was there for over 2 hours since we had been there, and even when we left, there was still no one there, but the stuff was there. So we contemplated that maybe they are reserving it for the evening and they live nearby, which is honestly outrageous and I do not recommend. And we hope it wasn't the case because that's not fair for anyone. Yet, we were only there midday viewing for lunch, so we can only hope that they finally came right after us. So also that being the case, you're expected to respect others' spots that they've saved, already taken in Japan, because it's just common courtesy. But the biggest factor of them all is the weather. It may be cold longer, it may be warm sooner, it may throw off the blossoms to have a good run in blooming on a regular pattern. Even if they bloom well, the rain and winds of spring can quickly wash them away, cutting everyone's chances of experiencing this once-in-a-year opportunity to see nature come back to life. And even in some cases, not even reaching a week and a half is a possibility. This year in 2026 alone, it's practically a week early. Originally, it's more or less around the 23rd of March in Tokyo for the blossoms to officially bloom, yet it started as of the 19th. That's 6 days early. But even if it does have an ideal weather pattern for the blossoms, a lot of the time it's still so cold, as the weather fluctuates on average in spring from 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, to 20 degrees Celsius or about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's the best day, might be just a bit cloudy, but it's still 10 degrees and windy. So it's not really on our side a lot of times. Even this week, I honestly felt so nervous that if the weather was going to be completely against us, it had rained for 2 days and it kept being off and on and changing on a dime to more questionable weather. Yet for here on Saturday the 28th, it was perfect. It was already 18 degrees Celsius, barely a wind, clear skies, and fluffy white clouds. We went to a big park in our area, and a friend searched for a good spot under a tree that wasn't too wet nor dark. And a friend brought hot water for miso soup and coffee, and I brought some washed strawberries and homemade Japanese fried chicken or karaage. And together we ate our bentos, and we were just so happy and thankful. Just a little bit of happiness. So Hanami can be a team effort, and with that team effort, it makes it a success, especially to be enjoyed with friends. So just remember to be flexible, whether with your friends in the community, and I really hope these tips will help you for your enjoyment of Sakura or Hanami this year or in the future. Let me know if I missed anything and comment below, or tell me about your experiences. And don't forget to subscribe for more content. 最後まで見てくれてありがとうございました。また次回の動画で会いましょう。いってらっしゃい。Thanks for watching till the end and enjoy your Hanami!